Now we're talking about the distinction between tone and intonation. So, vocal folds vibrate, right? Vocal folds vibrate at some rate, which is normally known as the fundamental frequency or the F0. When we're talking about the physical vibration, and pitch, when we're talking about the auditory perception. So, pitch is actually if you're perceiving some noise, you are determining it in terms of you are determining its vibration in terms of pitch. That is the standard of how to like measure the sound that you're hearing. So that is in terms of pitch. Pitch is manipulated at the level of, if it is manipulated at the words level of words or syllable to make to make out the meanings, it is known as tone. So tone is actually when the pitch which is being perceived is being considered at the level of syllables or words. That is what pitch in terms of, that is what tones are meant for. So tone is equal to pitch in terms of words or syllable, whereas if the pitch is actually calculated in terms of phrases, or let's say in terms of sentences, then in terms of the impact on the conversational functions, or that pitch is being manipulated is being um, is being studied in terms of statements or questions, then that that interpretation is known as intonation. So that is the major difference between tone and intonation. Tone is at the level of words, whereas intonation is at the level of sentence. Intonation is very complex, depends on the syntactic structure of what is being said. Many tonal languages have different types of tones, high tone or low tone. High tone have higher pitch. Vocal folds vibrate faster in when higher tones are produced, whereas vocal cords vibrate slower when low tones are produced. Then the vocal cord vibration is slow or slower. Yeah. So examples of intonation, that was tone, and now we are considering the examples of intonation, wherein you get to see this. So what are you eating? This is vegetarian chili, as in a question. What are you eating? This is vegetarian chili, and that is is shrimp etouffee. So we're talking about two distinct things here. We're describing two distinct things. We're saying this first thing is vegetarian chili, and that other thing is shrimp etouffee, right? The third example, this is vegetarian chili and not beef chili. So we're emphasizing on it being vegetarian and not beef. So these are examples at the level of intonation. The next example that we have here is, this is vegetarian chili and not vegetarian stew. This is vegetarian chili, specifically a type of chili dish and not a stew dish. The next example, at the level of intonation. This is vegetarian chili in the interpretation that I didn't hear exactly what you said. This is vegetarian chili? This is what it would sound like if it was to be said in a real world situation. This is vegetarian chili. It tastes like shrimp etouffee. So, this is vegetarian chili? Someone saying that with a surprise or a question mark. He's asking the other person, his friend or company, this is vegetarian chili? It tastes like shrimp etouffee. This is what this sentence would be interpreted as. The next sentence. This is vegetarian chili? Again, the same interpretation. In the sense that it tastes like meat. It doesn't taste like vegetarian dish. It tastes like a meat dish, a non-vegetarian dish. So these were the examples of intonation, and for the example of tones, where you have high tones or low tones. So you can have something like, let's say, this is acute accent, lie, and the same would be with a grave accent, would mean something else and would be pronounced as something else. And this would be pronounced as lie, and this would be pronounced as lie, lie, as in a, yeah, lie. So that is what this would sound like. So these are tonal examples. This would have certain meaning which would be different from this meaning. And that is the distinction between tone and intonation.